Hello everyone and welcome on the Papier de Rêve channel. I'm Ursula and today I will be painting with you a snowy forest. In my reference picture there is strong shadows and trees in the shadows, and there are also a very light beam of sunlight on the trees. So all the painting will be about this, how to make strong shadows and very strong light. And that's not something particularly difficult to do with watercolor, but I just have to be very careful to keep my light and my darkest colors very dark. So I have to work on with layers and go from the lightest color to the darkest color. So I've started my first layer with very light color, some Cerulean blue, Verona gold ochre, and a tiniest bit of Quinacridone burnt scarlet. But I really keep my color very light because this first layer will be my lightest colors in my painting. Once again, I'm painting a scenery with snow. Of course, I'm inspired by the country I lived in. There is a little bit of snow still in Stockholm today. So in order to make that snow a little bit more glowing, I will keep all the light color very warm because it's coming from the sun and the snow is in the shadow, so it will be very cool and in blue tones. And this contrast between blue shadows and warm light will bring a feeling to my painting. Once my first layer is thoroughly dry, I can start with the trees, and I will make a lot of layers of trees from the lightest to the darkest. It will help me to bring depth in them by working in layer, and they will appear a little bit more natural this way. It's really important in this painting to work step by step in order to get the right value of colors in my trees. And right now I'm blotting a little bit of painting because I think it was a little bit too dark, and this way of painting step by step I can make some changes along the way, and if I made a little bit of mistakes I can correct them very easily because I'm working from the lightest to darkest, and I take my time to work my colors. With each layers of trees I will gradient them to nothing, from strong color to really nothing in my painting, so that I can layer them a little bit easier and make them superposed with each other a bit more natural. In my reference pictures there is a lot of information on it, like trunks and bushes and the ground, how it looks, and all this information are not necessary to understand the painting, so I will treat all those information very loosely and without too much details in order to give you the impression of bushes and trunks and the soil, but without any details in fact. And because of that, my painting right now looks like nothing. It's a giant mess, I think. But bear with me and it will be great at the end. It's just the process is not beautiful at each step, but at the end it's okay. So I have a forest with strong dark and strong light. So for each trees that are in the sunlight, I will work them with a lot of yellow in my greens. I use Quinacridone gold for that, so that they are really glowy in the rest of my painting. And for all the trees that are a little bit more in shadows, I will use a little bit more blue in the green, and for that I am using Indanthrene blue. For this painting, the way I'm handling my brush is very important. Right now I'm painting the trunks in my forest, and I'm grabbing my brush a little bit more close to the bristles so that I can have a little bit more of precision in it. But when I'm working on the top of my trees, I grab my brush very far away from the bristles so that I can have more random marks on my paper, and this way it will be more interesting. So handling my brush very far away from the bristle is not a natural posture, but it's very important to try this way to handle your brush, because it gives you more freedom in the movement, and it's make a really nice natural mark in this way, and you can very variate the thickness of your marks very easily, from very thick mark to very thin mark. So it's very important to try and experiment with this way to handle your brush. You will be able to have more freedom in your brush marks. Before this painting, I've made a study of the same scenery, but I worked it with just one color so that I can study really the value of my pictures and get them right, and it will help me to know where is the strongest light and the strongest dark in my painting. So it's a very useful thing to do for this kind of painting, and it will help you a lot. Of course, you can see this picture on my blog. I will put the link in the description below. And now let's talk about supplies. For the brushes, I've used an Escoda Aquario number 18 and a Rosemary & Co. serie 39 half an inch in a dagger shape. For the color, I've used Cerulean blue, Indanthrene blue, Verona gold ochre, Quinacridone gold, and a little bit of Quinacridone burnt scarlet. And my paper is Canson Héritage in rough. And now my image is almost done. I just have to add a little bit more details and build even more my contrast in order to have my light really pop against the darker colors. And for these last details, I've changed my brush for a brush in a dagger shape, which is very long. It has very long bristles, quite thick at the start and very thin at the end of the bristle. So it's a little bit of an odd brush to work with, but it's wonderful to get this calligraphic effect in my trees, and it gave also even more random marks on my painting, and everything looks a little bit more natural with it. It's really a really fun brush to use when painting, because it's so random and so flimsy. It takes a little bit of time to master, but it makes wonderful marks after. I was a bit worried before starting this painting, because it's quite a hard one. Or at first it seems a bit of a hard painting with those stronger contrast, but at the end it was quite easy to make. Especially because I've worked really step by step and building my color step by step from lightest to darkest, and it's really the key for this type of painting. I was also worried to have too much blue in my painting, but with the warmer color like Verona Gold Ochre and Quinacridone Gold and Quinacridone Burnt Scarlet, it warmed up a little bit my painting, and at the end it's quite balanced between cold and warm, and it add even more contrast to my sunlight beaming amongst the tree. So yeah, at the end it was a really fun painting to make. I'm really happy with it, and I think it has boosted a little bit of my inspiration back together, because in winter I'm always a little bit low in inspiration, and now I feel better and I'm ready for spring. And please have a look on the blog post. I will put the link in the description below. You will find my reference picture and some studies I've done before this one, and it's quite interesting. And now this video is ending. Thanks for watching. I hope you like it. Please tell me what you think about it in the comment below, and see you soon.